enjoy that intro. So what happens? You put long nights, long days, and long nights, and a little bit of sleep. But I'm trying to get my sleep together. But I want you guys to see what we about to do. I already did it. I'm just gonna show you. Alright, so here's what we got going on. As you can see, we got a hole. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to weld it. So that's the whole point of what I'm doing here. So what I'm doing is I'm going to try to weld. I'm using the word weld. I don't know what other word to use, but like I'm basically taking zip ties and I'm trying to like melt it and make a bridge that goes over the hole but not into it, because I don't want to get nothing into the gears. And so the idea sounds really good, but it's not working as well as as well as I wanted it to work. I thought I was good right here, and then it popped off. So I was like, man, so that's my first attempt. I could have just threw this away and been done with it. So I tried to, weld it back on there. Just keep melting plastic. So basically, like I said earlier, it was hanging in, my trailer, and it just kept, over time it kept swinging and rubbing against another equipment, or rubbing against something. I don't really know, because I didn't really pay attention to what it was rubbing in. I just know it was something it was bumping into. So I'm going to have to make it so it doesn't, like put a little bungee on it so it doesn't have a sway. So I'm melting all of it just to kind of cover this hole up so nothing can get in there, no debris can get in there, so the grease can't get out. Because what happened was the hole was there and a bunch of sand and dirt and stuff got inside of it, and I could not get, like, it started getting loud. It's like it was really loud, it was noisy. So I took it apart and it was just dirt, sand, grit, just all sorts of stuff inside. So I tore it apart and cleaned it all out and put it back together. I put a bunch of grease in it, and yeah, hold on. Alright, so right now I was trying to like take the grinder and grind it smooth, so like it would kind of go with the tool. So this didn't look like it had a big old tumor on it, like the tumor I used to have on my back. Like I was making sure it didn't have like this big massive thing right here. But when I grinded it down, it came off. So third attempt. No, actually this is my second attempt. I'm looking for something that has a different course of a plastic. Like if I melt it, it might be a little thicker. So I'm looking and looking. Found something. I don't use it, so I was like, well, let's melt this. At this point, I'm literally ready to melt anything because I'm just so curious. But this took off and lit a lot faster and a lot bigger than I anticipated. Like, it just took off. And I was like, okay, it's burning. Yeah, I was like, this is getting a little bit out of control. So let's just put this out real quick. I guess that we can burn the shed down, I guess. Burn my garage down. Whatever you want to call it. But It did. It really wasn't that bad. So after I did the whole dramatic slow motion, yeah. So after I did all the slow motion and the dramatics, sorry, I did a little cut in there, and I think I repeated myself. Um, put it out, and it just was not working. It was so the zip tie was melting and getting hard right away, where this melted, but it stayed soft and squishy. So I was like, well, I gotta find something else. I gotta find something. I gotta get this fixed. So I was looking at it, and I thought like, oh, well, it made like a little bridge in there. If it dries, I can drip it on there. And it didn't work. So then I got real slick. This is where I kind of like take the little bit I had and drip it. I think this was like a desperate move right here, because I already know it's not working. But I swore it was. So then after all this, I had to go to my third attempt because I still got a hole. And it got real slick, and I found some trimmer string for Eagle. This is Eagle trimmer line, and I just basically kept it so it was burning, and it just dripped on. Like, it literally was like the easiest process ever. Like, it was like a hot glue gun. Like, it was working too well. So tomorrow I'm gonna use it. I got a job to do, and I went extra wide on it because I wanted to make sure it was grabbed on a lot of the material so it wouldn't just fall off. Maybe I should have scuffed up the material a little bit and then did it. So if it does pop off, I might scuff it up, but it looks ugly, guys, but it works. Like, this really worked. I was pretty impressed. Well, I'll talk to y'all later. Distributed lawn care. I'm gonna go in the house. Bedtime. But I think that is pretty cool.